Welcome back. Now we're going to put the battery, the Arduino Maker, the expansion board on top, and motor drive, and the two wires to the motors onto the robot body. Oh, and also I'm going to talk about the color sensor. First, let's see. Let's talk about the Arduino. So for the Arduino in the lab, you guys use the Uno. In here, we use the Maker. It works in the same way. It just when you select the board, you have to select the Maker. I'll go show you later. So this is the Maker. This is the expansion board. Remember, double check if this part is kind of smooth. If it's kind of sharp like the pin at the side, be careful. You have to cut this pin or using scissor or a cutter and stuff. But you can get this in the lab. So please be sure this two pin is not sharp. If you remove the tape, you will see that we have cut these two pins, but we may not cut it really well. So needs to be sure after you put the tape there, it's kind of smooth still, not that pointy, I should say. And why is that? Because when we put the board, the expansion board onto this Arduino, this part is ground. So this metal part is ground, but if these two pin is kind of sharp, these two pin may short to the ground and this board won't turn on. So yeah, be careful. And for the expansion board, just take a look of all these pin if there's any bending, because when you bring back home, maybe some of the pin get pushed and they touch each other. So just have a quick look if all this pin is like kind of vertical up. As soon as they are not touching each other, that's okay. And that's it. So let's put the expansion board onto the Maker. Maybe it's kind of hard to push it in, but just to be sure, all the pins are in the holes. Yeah, I understand it's not easy to push it there, but it takes some time. As soon as you push it in like this, like halfway, double check if all the pins are in the holes. It's hard to see it like in here, but it's you can look at it from this side. So okay, all the pins are in place. Then we push the expansion board in. So that's it. So you have to be sure all the pins are in the hole. So this is the Arduino Uno. Why we use this expansion board? Because if you look at the silk screen, like the white word on this board, for example, here say GVS. G is the ground, V is the 5 volt, is the supply voltage, and the S is a signal. So GVS. You will see it in the board. It's hard to show in the video. And the number below is say, okay, for example, 11, 10, 9, 8. So it's a digital pin 11, digital pin 10, 9, and 8. And if it say A0, if it's A0, it's a analog pin 0. But I guess in our project we won't use the A. We won't use the analog, I guess. We mainly use the digital. And some people ask me about the jumper and something. It's just to bypass the power supply, the 5 volt from here if they want. But unless you have a good reason, do not remove this jumper, because it takes some time to turn on this to isolate the voltage from the Maker. So Anyway, so let's finish the robot first. So this is the Maker with the expansion board, and this is the battery. I'm going to talk about this color sensor. When you have it, you won't have the wires. Maybe some of them you have to do the soldering. If you're not familiarized with that, ask me or Thomas in the lab, the technicians, and he can help you. Maybe the pin is this side or that side, but you have to be sure the color is right. So, for example, you have these rainbow wires, right? You tear the wires out. For example, you tear like this, but tear in like 3 or 5 in a row, so the wires it look nicer instead of all the wire flying around. In here, please, in this project, please follow the color scheme, because if you don't follow color scheme, then it is hard for me to debug it for you. For example, something is very important, VCC or the power, you should use the red color, and ground, the black color, ground should use the black color. So red and black as power and ground. This like a universal convention, so do not change this color scheme. And for this color, this is a color sensor. I use purple is S1. You will see the word S1 here. It's hard to see it. Purple is S1, blue is S0, and then green is LED. So you should see it in here. Just see it in here. And then the other side, the top part, you see the ground, and then out is brown, and then S3 is orange, and then S2 is orange, and then S3 is yellow, and then VCC is red. So you just tear these wires and then connect them. Even though if you tear them like not the right color, you remember to get another set. For example, we give you a lot of wires, so don't worry, we have enough. And sometimes if you push the connector in and it doesn't goes in, be patient, don't force it in, because it just metal things. So sometimes the hole is not big enough, so try to move it back and forth until it plug it in. And if it is too loose, either you can use the blue tack to keep them in place, or just don't use the wire, because we have so many wires to use another. Because if it's too loose, it means maybe this like bad contact. It's like not really contact well, so just use another set. So yeah, so let's put all this onto the robot first. And to make it easy, because even though the robot has a lot of holes, it doesn't really fit our application. And one thing, don't bend this LED, because in the last year, it's okay to bend the LED, but it's hard to tell them okay how to bend it well. So it's good just to keep it like this. It's this four LED is for illumination. Later on you will see it is to light up for example, the color paper underneath, so you can actually see is it red color or black color paper. So yeah, you will see later. So keep it like this, and then put it underneath. And we just use tape to fix the position. So it's like this. Maybe the orange side is let's see, the right side, and the 3Y is the left side. That's like this. And we have this really good sticky clear tape, and it's very useful. Later on you will know. So don't use them all in this section. You may need to use it for later. And it's kind of sticky, so just be careful. But it's, the good thing is you can reuse it if you, I guess you can use some water to wash out the dirt. So we just use a little. And now we put it here. Why? Because we want to fix this to wire, to set wire. And double check, okay, this is in place. This is in place. And then push these two wires. One another, like this. And it will fix the position. See? It will fix it. Yeah, it's kind of wobble, but it's good enough because this is just to detect the color paper. Okay. So other than this, we're going to put the battery. Remember I talked about the center of mass. It's good to put it as close as possible until it's going to touch the tires. So don't put it like this. If you put it like this, the wheels have like a really heavy weight, and when it turns, it's not that smooth. So put it like this. It doesn't matter if you put it like this or put it like this. Okay, yeah, I put it. Maybe I reverse the name. So the red me is like facing this side. So it's like this. Why? Because we'll have a USB. It's good to pass the USB like this. But sometimes some people put it two holes in right this side, and then when they connect the wire will be like flying like this. It doesn't look that good, but well, not really matter. And I put some under some tape under the battery, not too much. Why? Because if you put too much of that, that's impossible for you to remove it. So yeah, I have experience before. So I'll put it like in the middle. So like this. Yep. And then so double check if it's in the hole is this side. We put the board like this, and yeah, put the tape underneath. This clear tape is much better than the double side tape. Once you use it, you don't want to go back because it's very useful. So I'll put it this. You don't have to put it in the middle, but yeah, it's your choice. I put it in between them. Okay. If it's not that sticky, because there's some pins here, so put another tape on top. Okay, that's good enough. So as soon as it won't fall off, it's okay. You don't have to be like really like firm to the body. So it's good. And then we are going to put the motor drive right here. Put it like this. And then we are going to use the tape again. and then not too close to the back because you need to access this pin. So, and also we have a lot of space, so put it like further out, and especially later on you have to connect these wires. So yeah, put it further away. It's good. Here is good. Okay. Okay, good enough. And then the motor drive, the motor wires, both of them are the same. And please, we have double checked the wires, but please double check it yourself too. That is yellow, green, red, white, blue, and black. These two is the same. Why we put it like this? Because that's what inside the PCB is inside. That's what it's supposed to be. And I can tell you later about like which wire to which wire, but please, we're going to plug the wires into that. Okay. There's only one way, so if you cannot push it one way, you can just rotate it, push it another way. And there's holes. Let's see. Maybe I'll stop it from here. Okay. And here's another patch. Okay, so remember, it's like this group is for this motor, that group, this motor. You have to connect them to the board here. So let's see. Let's connect yellow and green wires. These two wires is actually to power the motors, because this is a motor drive, and then if you know about H-bridge or just MOSFET, it just say okay, the microcontroller will say okay, turn on this switch, the MOSFET, and turn on that MOSFET, and it's like a H-bridge, so it can actually tell if the wheel should turn forward or turn backward. And these two wires is power to the motor. And then now we connect it to these two wires to the motor drive first. So the yellow at the back. And remember, for this kind of screw connectors, remember to pull back a little. Oh, okay. So remember to pull back a little to see if it actually connect, because sometimes even though it feels like it's like really tight, but the wire is not really get into that. And then some for this project only, sometimes I like to put the wires like this, but don't do it in real life because you don't want that many insulator connected to the metal, but you want metal connect to metal. I'm trying to stop it in. Yeah, so it's tight, and then this green. It's tight, and then so don't mess up the color sensor with the motors wire. And for these two wires, this is cut, so it's easy to recognize. Same as before, the yellow one is the back. Okay. Yeah. And now for the rest of it, it seems a lot of wire, but remember the red is like power and then black is ground. So these two is just for sure is like VCC and ground. So we just need to care about these two wires. So just wait. That is white is 3, blue is 2. And these two, any row that is V is fine. It's good to put all the wires in one group, so later on you can do the debugging easier. So double check. It's blue and white, and then for this side, okay, for this side, the blue is 80. And then white is 19. So you may ask why I have to do it like this, because for the software I will give you, I have already assigned this pin to control which motors. So that's why you have to connect to the right pin. Yeah, for sure you can change it, but it's hard to debug it later. So please follow this color scheme and also the pin number. And then the middle is VCC, and then this is ground. It's like this. Okay. So it's kind of like a cross, so be careful. This part is this. So these wheels, the 4 wires is connected to this side. Okay. And let's maybe connect the color sensor too. Let's see. So for the color sensor, let me connect it first. This is brown. Orange. Red. And then back. So the brown one is 26, and then orange is 27, and yellow is 28. No. Okay, and then this 3. It just keep going of the connection. this is purple, blue, and then green. So the purple is 29, and then blue is 30, and then green is 31. I'm going to explain what this Y is about. So this is the motor drive, and this is the color sensor. And since we are here, we're going to connect the rest of the wires to see. Okay, let's see. As you look at the wires, there's some of them is host to host. We say female to female, and we're going to pull these 4 wires out. So black, purple, gray, and white. Okay. 4 wires, and then you should have holes and pins, so male and females, and we need to use let's see, 2 red and 1 black. So we pull 2 red and 1 black. Okay. So these are the wires. Okay, let's see. Oh, I should connect these first, but anyway, there's 3 screws here, so we are going to put the red, black, red connector in here, the wires in here. The black is in the middle. What is that? Is like one hole is for the power of the motors, and the other hole is for the electronics. And yeah, there's a different way to connect it, but make it simple. That's how we connect them. So we connect the red wire. And the good things about this kind of pin is like that's metal, that's like solid metal. It's easy to connect it using the screw. So it's red, and then this is the black. Let me loosen all these screws first. Black in the middle, and then red right here. And remember to pull it like that to be sure it can't connect. And since these are red and black, so it's power, so you can connect it anywhere. So yeah, we connect it later. And now for these 4 wires, and just be careful, the gray and white is kind of like the same color. this. And there's two jumper here. Don't lose them. This two jumper is for PWM. It's like pulse width modulation, which like to control the wheels speed and stuff. But since for us we want like a high speed, so we want the robot go and then stop and then do something. We don't want the robot to move it like really slow. So that's why we short these two wires together, like another one too, so that it will have 100% PWM. It's like always high. When we want to turn on the motor, it will be like full speed. So connect it like this. So blue, purple, gray, and white. So we just hold it like this, and then plug all of them there, or you plug one by one. Fine. So yeah. And then for this side, double check. Purple, blue, white, gray. Purple, blue, white. So we flip the wire. So this part have to be careful with it. Swap this the white and gray. So in the blue wires is the purple first. Purple is 11, and then blue is 10, and then white color is 9, and then the gray color is 8. So yeah, hope you don't. It's easy for you to see the difference. If not, then just be careful. But even though you swap the wire, these copper wire just say, okay, when want to go forward, it's actually does not go forward. It may do something weird, because these 4 wires is just for control the motor. Is it turn clockwise or anti-clockwise turn? So yeah. So for this wire, for the signal wire, usually it won't burn the board, but if it's like red and black, there's a chance that you may burn the board. So that's why it's important to have a good color scheme, so that when something go wrong, for example, the board doesn't turn on, all you have to check is just the red and black wires. So when the board, the LED does not turn on, you just need to check the red and black wires. Other you don't have to check mostly. So it's easy for you to debug. And then since we put all the wires in this part, and we put the power in here too. So the V, the red is to V, in the whole row is like V, so any row is fine as soon as the V row. So it's something like this. You can see it. Okay, you can pause it if you not really see it clearly. Okay, so the motor drive here, the motor drive is done, the wiring is done. The color sensor is done. So later on we're going to power it up, or maybe we put all the things to on the robot first. So yeah, thanks for watching.